This last time I'm gonna tell you, better tell me where the 10 tail is or I'm gonna kill you. It's easy. I can make it happen. It's real easy. I'll do it. Don't make me blink. I'll knock you out. And Code calls his bluff. But given Code's track record to losing to every single person he has ever fought, Code has lost every fight he has ever been in. Alright, what's going on, everybody? Anime Rainbow back with another episode. Now, look. I understand I'm late. I understand I'm well behind the 8 ball. I'm well beyond the boundaries of the Pride Land. But regardless, I am going to be fully talking about every Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter, and I will start at chapter 1 and work my way up. The luxury of it being monthly is that I have time to catch up, but we're going to dive right into this because honestly, I wasn't really going to give it a chance. To be completely frank with you, like the original Boruto run of Boruto Naruto The Next Generations was just a hot mess. I'm sorry, like Kishimoto wasn't writing it, then he was writing it, then these perpetual nerfs of the characters, which is just undeniable. I mean, you can't deny the nerfs that are going on with the main Naruto Shippuden cast. And yes, I am aware of how Boruto ended. I'm aware of the body change, the fucking spiritual memory fucking change, the omnipotence that Ida seems to possess just conveniently, right? I'm aware of all that. And this jumps off of that 3 years later, and I have my own take on it. I mean, I've seen some reviews about it from people, but like nobody really wants to actually touch on the actual details that we're getting in the manga. People are just have those rose-tinted nostalgia glasses on. Oh my gosh, it's in the Naruto universe, let's praise it. No. The story has to make sense. And if something happens, it can't just happen out of convenience. It seems a lot of shit that's going down in Boruto after Kishimoto took it over, it was just done out of convenience, and it's good. I like it a lot more than the previous Boruto run, and as of recording this, I am completely caught up currently with all of the Boruto chapters. I just want to talk about it. Some of this shit just doesn't make sense, and we just let it go. But let's dive right into it, because we're going to talk about it all. So the chapter opens up with Sarada going back and forth with Shikamaru. This is about Boruto and Kawaki, because if you remember, Sarada and the class rep, I forget her name, Sarada and the class rep, for whatever reason, they're immune to all of this shit. Nobody else. Sasuke's not even immune to it. Sakura's not immune to it. How the hell is Sarada immune to it? It would have to come from somebody. Somebody's side of the family should have this ability. I don't want to rant too soon, but they have the ability, right? They're not affected by it, so they're trying to convince everybody that Kawaki isn't Boruto and Boruto isn't Kawaki. I take that back. They're trying to convince them that Kawaki is not the true son of Naruto and that's actually Boruto, but everybody thinks that Boruto is technically Kawaki. He's the outsider, he's the one that they found in the field, and that he's the one that killed Naruto and Hinata. Now you may have been wondering, why is it that Sarada is arguing with Shikamaru? Well, it's because Shikamaru is the sitting Hokage. Shikamaru was appointed the 8th Hokage because they couldn't find Naruto. And you may be wondering, well, why didn't they just go back to Kakashi, right? Like after Minato's death, they went back to the 3rd Hokage. It wasn't until after the 3rd Hokage died that they were like, okay, now we need a brand new Hokage. But here they just appoint Shikamaru, they don't consider Kakashi at all, and then you have Konohamaru as his advisor. The only like real joy that brought a smile to my face when I was reading this, I was like, hell yeah, Konohamaru was actually on his way to become one of the next Hokages, right? Him and Naruto had that little back and forth back in the original series. I'm glad to see that he's taking the similar approach that Naruto took. He didn't immediately go to Hokage after the 4th Great Shinobi War. He had some time. Kakashi was in there for a few years, and then it was Naruto's turn, and that's what you're seeing here with Konohamaru. However, because Shikamaru has essentially a kill on sight order for Boruto, Boruto could not return to the village, and Sarada is there talking with Hokage Shikamaru, asking him to rescind that order so that Boruto can come in and tell his side of the story, and Shikamaru is just dead set against it. And I get it to a certain extent, but then there's just so many examples of what him saying to Sarada is just hypocritical on his part and the part of the Leaf Village. And it wasn't caught by readers, it wasn't caught by Boruto YouTubers, it wasn't even caught by Kishimoto, right? Sarada wants Boruto to be able to come into the village to tell his side of the story, and Shikamaru says even if he does rescind the order, it's the will of the people, it's not just Konoha law. And I was like, you're a damn lie. And I'm thinking this, but even before I could make a video and talk about it, Sarada beats me to it. Before she turns and walks out of the office, she says to him, you know, my dad Sasuke did terrible things and Naruto did everything in his power to bring him back to the village. And I was like, cool, so maybe it's right there. Shikamaru's saying we can't forgive him. We can't forgive Boruto for doing what it is that Boruto did. The people would never forgive him for it. I was like, well, y'all forgave Sasuke. Sasuke killed Danzo, an elder of the village in the stand-in sitting Hokage. Sasuke killed him. Y'all forgave him for it. Orochimaru killed not just the 3rd Hokage, but also the 4th Kazekage. And he is allowed to conduct experiments inside the Land of Fire. Granted, he's under supervision, but y'all seem to have forgave him. If you can forgive Orochimaru for killing 2 Kages, and you can forgive Sasuke for killing an elder and a standing sit-in Hokage, then I just don't see why you can at least let this man Boruto come into the village to explain his side of the story. Given how smart Shikamaru is, and I know this is brainwashing, you understand what I'm saying? I am well aware that Ida's ability has brainwashed everybody, but we're going to get into that very shortly. The fact is that Shikamaru is banking heavily on the testimony of Ida, an android that he does not like, an android he does not trust, an android he does not want to be inside of the Leaf Village. He doesn't trust Ida, he doesn't trust Damon, he doesn't trust Amato. So why are you taking their word as the gospel? You have this girl in your office every single day for 3 years, and you don't even like question your own memories at this point. It does come up though throughout this chapter that people did question what it was that she was saying. And at the beginning of the whole omnipotence, chakra, Koro Matsukami, eternal Tsukiyomi, android, Otsutsuki God technique, that at the beginning of it, people were questioning it. Because they were like, okay, well, if Kawaki is actually Naruto's biological son, why does he have all these ninja tools in him? And then the explanation was, oh, well, they just forgot over time. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But then again, it doesn't make sense because when would Naruto's son had the opportunity to get all of these life-altering, body-morphing surgeries? Who in the Leaf Village does these surgeries? Why didn't Naruto and Hinata ever know about it? Why didn't anybody at the academy ever know about it? This isn't something you can just be like, oh yeah, well I guess it's always been that way. No, this technology is too new. This technology doesn't even exist in the villages. This is something only Amato can do. There's no way you're just like, there's no way you just think that this just happened, but they did. What happened to Momoshiki? You were dealing with that just 24 hours prior. Okay, I'm willing to say that you're just willing to let that one go. Fine. Kawaki Uzumaki knows no jutsus that was taught to him. He doesn't know the Rasengan. Sasuke knows he taught Naruto's son the Rasengan. Just ask him to do the Rasengan. He doesn't know the summoning jutsus new for Boruto, so okay, I can't really use that as an argument. But Kawaki doesn't know the Rasengan, he doesn't know the summoning jutsu, he doesn't know the wind palm, he doesn't know water style, he doesn't know any of these things. You could honestly just call Kawaki into the office and ask him basic questions. Or get Himawari to do it. Hey, ask Kawaki a question about something that you, your brother, and your parents would only know. I feel like I'm getting too deep on this, but like it's like a major plot point. And it's just like, it's glossed over. But it's also mentioned at the same time. I'm like, yes, you can forgive Boruto. That wasn't in Ida's omnipotence. That's all you, Shikamaru. That's not on Ida. For you to allow this man to come back to the village and just say his side of the story. So the next little bit of the chapter is Sarada. She leaves the Hokage's office and she meets up with the class representative who's just tagging along at this point, right? And I'm sure her character is going to make sense in the next 50 to 100 chapters, but as of right now, she is a walking plot hole in every possible means. So the next little bit of the chapter is us catching up with Kawaki, and at first glance, I'm like, this man is dressed like a rapper from the early 2000s. He has 4XL pants on his body when he needs a size medium. He has the drawing trench coat. I mean, he looks like a mobster from New York City in the 70s. Regardless of that, you got Mitsuki, who looks probably the cleanest in terms of character design over the time skip. Very easily the cleanest. They have some dialogue, they go back and forth. Mitsuki's being sus again, but you see that it was drawn as if he's suspicious of Kawaki. With him having such a unnatural gravitational pull to Boruto, he's a little suspicious with Kawaki in that regard. At least that's what I was picking up on it. But Kawaki, he gets a report that they found more of Code's claw marks scattered throughout the Leaf Village. He goes, he shrinks them, he moves on. But before he moves on, he realizes that there was a claw mark on one of the Leaf Shinobi that he quickly gets rid of. But another civilian had a claw mark, and that started the entire avalanche ride that we got to towards the end half of the first chapter, with all of these claw grimes showing up. Some have Renin guns, some don't. You have Code that shows up. He looks like he's the fucking Phantom of the Opera. I mean, Kishimoto is giving no respect to this man Code in his design or in his actions. Because like I said, I'm completely caught up with all of Boruto to Blue Vortex. He is getting disrespected left and fucking right, even down to his character design. Why is he dressed like that? Are you not hot? You're about to go into a full-scale battle. You have a 12-piece suit on and a monocle. Are you not hot? Oh my gosh. So Code shows up. There's a standoff between him and Sarada. He's like, he's done looking for Boruto. Boruto is just gonna show up. He says he's done looking for Boruto. He's just gonna make Boruto come to him. So he decided to attack the village. And so he attacks the village, but as soon as he attacks and pulls up to the village, Boruto shows up. Now, I've mentioned this twice now. This is the third time. I'm already caught up with the manga. I understand. At the time, it's like, yo, how the fuck did you just pop up out of thin air, bro? But now we know it was more than likely, and this is spoilers if you are not completely caught up with, what, the 4 chapters of Boruto as of right now. We know that he got there because of the Flying Raijin. But it's like, well, that's not exactly how the Flying Raijin works, you guys. That's not how it works. You don't just get to teleport freely wherever you want. You have to have a mark of the Flying Thunder God somewhere, and that allows you to teleport to where that mark specifically is. Him teleporting right in front of Code's face, putting his boot on his face, would suggest that he has a Flying Raijin mark somewhere on his body that he is not aware of or privy to. But it's kind of like, well, when would you have put that mark on him? Because he's been looking for you for 2 years. And I don't think you knew the Flying Raijin 365 days after leaving the village. Who would have taught it to you? That's what. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. See, this is why you don't read ahead when you're trying to make chapter review videos. Anyway, he pops up on Code. They have a very long back and forth dialogue. Boruto gives some very badass dialogue talking about, yeah, this is the last time I'm gonna tell you. This is the last time I'm gonna tell you. You better tell me where the 10 tail is or I'm gonna kill you. It's easy. I can make it happen. It's real easy. I'll do it. Don't make me blink. I'll knock you out. And Code calls his bluff. But given Code's track record to losing to every single person he has ever fought, Code has lost every fight he has ever been in. There is no reason to believe that Boruto is going to lose this one. Even with Sasuke being missing, I don't think Code beat Sasuke outright. I think it was like, oh hey, Sasuke sacrificed himself so Boruto could leave and escape and live, right? Because if Code gets Boruto, then it really is over. He's going to feed him to the 10 tails, but that wasn't what the case was. Sasuke, I feel like if it was one-on-one and he didn't have to worry about Boruto behind him or beside him or potentially dying or being caught on some type of blast, he would have went all out against Code and won. Code has not shown us anything in terms of being a formidable opponent to anybody he goes up against. And again, this is the person that was said to be as strong or stronger than Jigen with his limiters removed. Either Jigen was never as strong as we initially thought he was, or Boruto and Kawaki have risen to such a level it is disgusting to think about actually having to find a villain that they can actually compete against. But I think I've rambled on long enough. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you are new, go plus ultra and smash the subscribe button. It lets me know you rock with the content that I put out on the channel. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Comment on the video your thoughts about what you think is going on, and realistically, how do you think this was? This was a recovery moment for Boruto. It truly was. The end of the first arc, the first half of Boruto, part 1 of Boruto, however you want to look at it, it was not good. More questions than answers. Nothing was really happening. I felt like they were spending the majority of the time just trying to get people to like Boruto, like as a character, and it just didn't work out. This is their second attempt, and their attempt at it is kind of, it's like, right? We see what you're doing. right? He's not his own character. He's just this conglomerate of all the things we like about other characters, right? People like Sasuke. Oh, what do you do for Boruto? Give him Sasuke's sword and his cloak. Oh, people like Kakashi. Well, what do you do for Boruto? Oh, give him a scar over his eye just like Kakashi. Oh, we like Naruto. What do you do? Oh, just give him his entire moveset. Give him the Rasengan. Give him the summoning jutsu. Give him the shadow clone jutsu. Eventually, he's gonna learn Sage mode and maybe even come up with like different Rasengan variants, just like Naruto did. But regardless, he's not his own character, and I'm sorry, that's something that you have to explore better when you're doing spin-off series like this. But this is the first of many. Chapters 2, 3, and 4 will be out in a reasonable amount of time. If you made it to the end, thank you. And like always, until next time, I'm out.